Final speaker, His Excellency, Mr. President Sharif Sheikh Ahmed. Mr. President, President Sheikh Sharif, known as the father of modern Somalia because of his achievements when he served as president of the transitional federal government between 2009 and 2012. President Sheikh Sharif was the 7th president of Somalia and successfully brought the federal government of Somalia through the transitional status following the collapse of the previous governing administration in 1991. Under Sheikh Sharif's leadership, the transitional federal government succeeded in driving al-Shabaab out of Mogadishu, the capital of Somalia, and its surrounding areas, establishing security, peace, and starting a serious effort in reconciliation through the difficult transitional period. The administration of President Sheikh Sharif was Somalia's 7th president once again, and is also credited with developing the country's constitution and setting up key institutions such as the police, military, and judiciary. Mr. President, thank you for your service to the people of Somalia, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mohamed. Thanks for having me here. I want to thank American Counterterrorism and the Resilient Institute for hosting me to this important discussion on Somalia's security situation. A special thanks to Mohamed and Ambassador Stephen Schwartz and Martine Zeuthen. In brief, I will highlight the main security challenges confronting Somalia, and I will also share my perspectives on how best we can fight al-Shabaab and their twisted interpretation of Islam. Terrorism today is a primary threat to our national security, our people, our neighbors, and the international community. At the forefront of this threat of our nation, al-Shabaab, which is a militant group that has terrorized the country and brutalized our people for the last 14 years in ways that no one had imagined. Al-Shabaab thrives in context of poor governance, a state of fragility, political dysfunction, absence of strong institutions, lack of education, civic education in particular, as well as other economic factors, and most importantly, the growing political grievances. Al-Shabaab knows this very well, and it capitalizes on these vulnerabilities. In terms of their operations, Al-Shabaab continues to retain significant deadly military capabilities, as well as the ability to plan executed mass casualty attacks in the heart of Somali cities, including the Somali capital, Mogadishu. We need to emphasize that Al-Shabaab is becoming more economically powerful as it started to collect taxes. All products on the arrival at seaport from the first time in its history. No financial transaction takes place without Al-Shabaab's share of illegal extortion money is put aside. This shows that they are more financially capable in carrying out more devastating attacks on innocent lives. The memories of the 14th of October 2017 attacks is still with us. More than 600 innocent lives were lost in this terrorist attack alone. Efforts to defeat this group, they have proven time and again and that they are capable to adapting to the reality on the ground. For their peak between 2008 and 2011, when they controlled nearly half of the country. The current government has more resources and opportunities in terms of military and financial capability and compared to during our time in government, yet have failed to mitigate the threat of Al-Shabaab. This shows that fight against Al-Shabaab is not given the full attention that it rightly requires. To defeat Al-Shabaab, we need to employ a proven operational and strategic counter-terrorism measures We should not only focus on the military aspects of the fight against Al-Shabaab, but we need a comprehensive and holistic security strategy that also puts more emphasis on the ideological fight in the rational way. Our duty should be to implement policies that effectively check, neutralize those systems and processes to protect our youth from joining Al-Shabaab and the other terrorist organizations. During my time in the government, we fought Al-Shabaab with limited resources and limited capacity, but we were fully committed and determined. And with the support of our friends and the international community, we managed to expel Al-Shabaab from the capital and the other strategic cities. But their ideology remained and their power re-emerged, taking advantage of the vulnerability of the government is still posing imminent threat to our security. The international community continues its support for the Somali people in this fight, and we appreciate that. There are still challenges, and the questions still remain. What it is that we are not doing right? What we can do to eliminate the threat of Al-Shabaab and its ideology? Well, these are complex questions. There is no silver bullet, but we need to reduce the political, economic, and the social grievances that enable terror groups to claim political legitimacy. We also need to address issues of extreme poverty, unemployment, political and economic grievance, and restore hope for better Somalia. As I pointed out, Somalia's security situation is extremely complex, as many shareholders are involved with various extreme ideological and political views. There is no significant panacea for the security challenges. However, our experience has shown that Al-Shabaab's threat can be defeated, but there needed political will to prioritize this fight. I believe that the government's lack of decisive action in this regard has opened a new Pandora's box and made fight against Al-Shabaab even more challenging, more complex, and more interactable endeavor. However, the Somali people are resilient and peace-loving, and I'm confident that as a nation, we are fully committed and prepared to weaken and defeat Al-Shabaab. God willing, we will prevail. Thank you, Mohamed. I hand it up to you.